What's up, guys? I'm so glad you tuned in with me here today. Welcome back. Today, if you couldn't tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about how to reinvent yourself. Yeah, it's New Year's Eve. The New Year is here, and many of us are already started, contemplating what we want to do for 2024, who we want to be for 2024. And my purpose here today is to help guide you through that process and give you a couple tips on what I do. If you are new to my channel, this is your first time meeting me here today. My name is Drew Wills. I'm a model / content creator. You may recognize me from social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I think Twitter's called X now. I'll be around. And I just so happen to be a little knowledgeable about subjects pertaining to spiritual and personal development. I reinvented myself in the past recent years, completely transformed myself from a loser to a force, a star, just something amazing, something completely different than what I used to be. So if you want to know how I was able to do that, stick around, get comfortable, grab a pen, open your ears, open your eyes, because I'm about to school you. Class is in session. So first things first, before you even think about reinventing yourself, the first thing you need to do is do some shadow work. Some serious, deep shadow work. Sit with yourself, look yourself in the mirror, and rip yourself apart. For real. Rip yourself apart. Be completely honest. Be brutally honest with yourself. But remember to only focus on the things that you have control over. That's the most important part of this whole process. The thing is, it's important for you to become fully self-aware of your strengths and your weaknesses, and to figure out how to capitalize off those strengths and how to turn those weaknesses into strengths. The thing is, we want to be able to pinpoint what we need to work on, what we need to fix, what self-sabotaging ways do we have that are literally just having us in this continuous, repeated cycle of just mediocrity, or not even that. This is the point of the process where you tell yourself that you are lazy, you're unorganized, you're out of shape, you have poor communication skills, or maybe you're a coward, and you just let people walk all over you and you don't speak up for yourself ever. If there's anything that you are lacking or anything that is hindering you spiritually from becoming the best version of yourself, you need to address that and expose that now, because if not, you'll just end up repeating these cycles that you've been repeating your whole life, these cycles that don't work for you. So it's time to get real. It's time to get honest. It's time to get brutal. No more hiding. No more hiding from yourself. No more hiding from the world. That those parts of you that you want to just shove to the back of your brain and act like they don't exist, it's time to bring them out. And it's time to fix it. If you can't get past this first step, don't even bother going to step 2, because you'll be wasting your time and your energy. So take as much time as you need with this. Step 2, as above, so below. So we spent all that time ripping ourselves apart, listing all of our shortcomings. Now it's time to do the opposite. Now it's time to build ourselves back up. What are you good at? What do you have that makes you a contributing member to this society? What do you have? What qualities do you have about you that you just absolutely love? You could be really good with people. You could be really smart. You could be good with strategies and things like that. Maybe you make really, really good cookies. Nobody make cookies better than you. What is it that you do? What traits do you have? It could be your hair, anything, anything little, anything big. Build yourself up. Remind yourself why you are a force to be reckoned with. Because if you did that first step correctly, your ego going into the second step should be completely shot. You know what I mean? It should hit you like a bus. All of the terrible things that you have going on about yourself should literally smack you in the face, and you should just be wow. Wow. So it's you got some work to do. You really need to build now. Another thing I would suggest doing is remind yourself of the accomplishments that you've achieved, all throughout your life. I don't care if it was in kindergarten. I don't care if it was in middle school. I don't care if it was in high school. I don't care if it was you feel me, at the company. Anything that you did that was worthy of applause, remind yourself of that. Remind yourself of the time that you stood up for something. Remind yourself of the time that you know what I mean? got out of your comfort zone and it worked out. Remind yourself of the time you did something so clever that nobody else thought about. You know what I'm saying? Like, completely immerse yourself in that. And then remember, these things have to be true. Like, it shouldn't be you're trying to convince yourself of something. Like, it should already be true. You know, it's something that can't nobody argue with. Like, you got it. Depending on where you are, it might be a little difficult to do this part, but just think on it, and then once you get that ball rolling, they'll just come in, they'll come through. Now that we've gotten to know ourselves and we've accepted ourselves of all of our shortcomings and all of our strengths, now it's time to turn those weaknesses into strengths too. What I would suggest doing is getting like a pen and paper, writing down all of your shortcomings, write down all of your self-sabotaging habits that you have, anything that's stopping you from being the best version of yourself. And then right next to it, write down, you know, the antonym of that, like the complete opposite. So let's say you are lazy, you would note productive. Let's say you are scatterbrained, you would note focused. Let's say you are insecure, you would note confident. And you would just do that as the list goes on. Then, let's say, for example, what does a focused, confident, productive person do? List that out and start doing that. You know what I mean? Day by day, whoever you want to be tomorrow, you got to start being that person today. You got to start making strong efforts to be that person today. And then anything that doesn't align with that, like any traits that you have, any places that you go, any people that you have around you that enable you to be that old version of yourself that you're trying to get away from, you need to distance yourself from it or cut it off completely, which is really hard to do. Oh my God, bro, it's really hard to make those sacrifices, but these sacrifices is what's going to deter whether or not you're successful in reinventing yourself. Because when you backslide, you'll be able to catch it. Because you will backslide in the beginning, you'll be able to catch it easily because you don't have too many distractions and you are letting yourself get in the way on top of that. Step 4, it's time to take action. It's time to do. So I would suggest getting that list that we made, writing down what does a productive, confident, whatever you want to be, what does that version of you look like? What do they do every morning? Do they work out? Do they eat well? Do they, I don't know, pray every day? Like, whatever your goal is, just make sure you're in alignment with it. And I would suggest prioritizing these tasks based on urgency. You know, what in your soul is begging for you to change, like right now, today? I can't take another minute of this. Let's do something about it right now. Do that first. And then also organize them based on how long they would take. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to get more organized, what does an organized person do? They have a clean room, you know, they have a clean like closet space or whatever. You could do that today. You can get that out the way right now. An organized person, they go to sleep at 9 a.m. and they wake up at 4 a.m. You could do that today. You could get that out the way right now. Let's get these small wins under our belt, because these small wins is what's going to carry us, you know, as far as like our mental and our confidence to handle like the bigger tasks. And remember to break up your big goals too. If your goal is to lose weight, don't put so much stress on losing weight. Instead, focus your attention on eating healthier, getting cardio in, doing all of the things that's necessary for you to lose weight. That way, it seems like you're doing all these little things, but the byproduct of these little things is going to be what you really want, is that weight loss. And remember to give yourself grace. Like, that will be the hardest part in all of this, because at first it's going to seem impossible. You know, you got to remember that 9 times out of 10, you are breaking habits that have been instilled in you since you were a little kid. Like, this is like a lifetime of bad habits that have gone unchecked. So you're not going to break all of them in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year. You're going to backslide a lot. You're going to be doing well for a lot of months, and then you might, you know, go back to your old habits. But the thing is, every time you backslide, you got to catch yourself really back in and get back on track. You have to be the one that's keeping you responsible, because nobody's going to save you. When you want to reinvent yourself, everybody around you, they are completely okay with who you are. They love you, or if they don't love you, like, they're used to you. Like, you've been this way all this time. It may bother you every day, but they don't care. So they're not going to hold you accountable. You can't count on them to hold you accountable. reach your goals. So you have to be that one that's really on top of things, that's really focused, and that can say like, hey, you know, I can't go out tonight because I gotta go to the gym at 5 a.m. I can't link with you today because I gotta make sure I got energy to go to this, you know, whatever I gotta go to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be that one. Ooh, I can't go out drinking with y'all because I'm trying to save money. I can't go out to brunch because, you know, I just don't need to be around all those unhealthy food options. Like, you get where I'm going with this? You are your coach. Nobody's gonna save you. Suck it up. And it's gonna be very difficult. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be so hard. It's gonna be like the hardest thing that you've ever done, because essentially what you're doing is you are facing the worst parts of yourself. Bringing that to the light alone is very difficult to accept, you know, everything that you are that you don't like. And then on top of that, you got to rewrite it. You got to do the work. It's going to seem so impossible at first. I'm going to stress how impossible it seems to break these old habits, because it just is. But you got to stay faithful. You got to stay vigilant. And you just got to stay on your Zoom, man. Like, you just have to. Because if not, what? You're going to stop and you're going to still be miserable. Losing weight is hard. Quitting drugs is hard. But being addicted to food is hard too. Being addicted to these drugs is hard too. So it's like, you get to choose your heart. Why not choose the one that's gonna have you like looking amazing, feeling amazing, bringing all this abundance in your life, you know, broadening your horizons. It's quick math to me, I don't know, but I say all that to say this. There's so much more to reinventing yourself than just these little 4 steps that I shared with you today. And it is a long journey that never ends. You know, through life, we are always going to like find things that we can improve on. You know, something might happen and it might scar us, and we got to heal from that too. And we got to, it's a never ending journey. It's a marathon. So keep that in mind. And I really hope this encourages y'all to like get it together, man. Because I know it worked for me, so I know it could work for you. You just got to apply. You just have to apply it. So that is all I have to say. If you've liked what you've seen here today, feel free to comment, share some of your experiences. Feel free to share this video with somebody that you think needs to hear it. And feel free to subscribe, bro. Like, I come here and I drop these gems for y'all. So it will really be helpful to help get these gems out, you know, and get the algorithm, you know, on our side, so that way we can keep these videos coming. So that's all I gotta say for you today. Happy New Year. I wish you a blessed and prosperous 2024.